There's been more things that have dropped about the final play that have interested me a little bit.
Yeah.
More information has leaked.
I love it. It's a ton of info, baby.
I think I've come to the final conclusion.
All right, let's hear it.
Kenny did make adjustments, legitimately.
Correct. Yes.
Line of scrimmage also told Pickens to do a go route.
Mm-hmm.
I think those were built into the play throughout the week.
Yes, that is also
Prepared
correct.
For.
Yes.
If the Ravens showed a certain look,
yeah,
you're supposed to do this.
Yes.
So Canada gets some credit, I guess.
Respect.
Some credit, I guess.
Respect.
More to Pickett and Pickens.
The fact that you even gave him that, bro, that was more than I even expected, man. So salute you on that. Yeah. I know we got him a lot on defense here in Pittsburgh. Instead of saying regular cover 3, it's 36. We got a look that we're going to give you versus pro. We got a built-in check versus slide. You can align in it and we can come out and it's going to look like we called it. Or you can motion to it or move to it and it's going to like we check into it. But, yeah, that is common practice at that level. Yeah.
It seems like everything lines up to where that is how it happened.
But on top of it, though, because I know initially people were kind of trying to look at that as the I told you this is why, or, you know, witch hunt, whichever way they wanted to push it. If it was a Kenny indictment, if it was a Canada indictment, right? One way or the other. But at the end of the day, isn't that what we've all been wanting? Growth. Trust from coordinator in his quarterback. Quarterback, not just see it, actually call it, and then get it executed. Everything that we want to happen, we're seeing it. It's a small sample size, though. We need more of it. It has to expand, but that's the autonomy that if you want to get the audibles, I can't give you the ability to change whole plays if you can't even run simple checks. If the safety is on the hash versus safety in the middle of the field, if that corner is outside leverage versus inside leverage, if it's double mug A gap, like we know Baltimore ran a lot of, right, with Roquan and Patrick Queen walked up, they might have a look. If they off, they might have a look. All of that is what you want because that's the coordinator saying that I trust my quarterback to be able to at least make those adjustments to get us in the right call. Now, from there, if you keep doing this enough, now we could build upon it and say, hey, man, you got a 5-play menu for your audibles. You can't go full empty and call every route, but you got the ability to check to this, or this. Those are your audibles for right here. That's how it grows into it. I always think of like Ryan Shazier.
That's at least what I get in Madden.
Yeah.
So I mean, let's give it to the quarterback on Sundays.
Because I think how like when Shazier first came here, man, we didn't have all these checks. It wasn't all this he could call it at the line of scrimmage, and how he would be audible in full calls. It wasn't that initially. Initially, it was, bro, you gonna run what we call. Then it was, all right, if you see this look, you could check this one call. Then it became, all right, Shada checked the whole defense on this. But Coach Tomlin and him had that relationship where it was a trust. Him, Keith Butler and company. So it was like, all right, you've earned it. But that was 3 years in this thing before, you know, he was able to start doing that type of stuff, man. So with Kenny, that was his 17th start, 17th game. That stuff is coming, baby.
Well,
that stuff is
Canada
definitely
even
coming,
said
man.
in his interview today that Kenny did stuff like that 4 or 5 times throughout the game. That's good.
But you can see it on the tape. You see his, I know on one side to the left side of scrimmage, you see him doing hand signals at times. So it's like, yeah, we're getting these things. This is a good situation. It just, I'm sure if they would try to use it for ammo to take one party down, it's probably not the best because it's actually a benefit for both of these dudes. But that's what you want, man. This is growth. This is progress.
It's tough. It's tough. It really is. It's just we got bailed out, I feel like, so many times, or given so many opportunities that, again, thank God we hit on the final one or those last 2 drives.
Yeah.
But if the game plays out differently and the Ravens just make simple football plays, I don't even think we get that opportunity.
Yeah.
Now, credit to both sides of the ball, defense, you can even throw special teams in there, and the offense for getting it done when it really, really, really counted, like when we finally got that final opportunity. And you know I love that stuff. I love the clutch drives, the clutch moments, and Kenny's been doing that a lot, so, like, I don't want to undersell that. It's just we need more from this offense.
So I'm with you. And this was so after we had our talk, on the show and stuff Monday, man, I went back, watched some more tape, and I was just thinking, I'm like, I get why we weren't on the same page 100% on Monday. Our team as a whole, we're stuck in a unique spot. We're good enough that we're going to win a ton of football games, which we've already seen, which is what my point was on Monday, right? 3-2 this season, 10-4 over this stretch, 7-2 down the back half. But that's for the 80% of the league we're going to face. What you were focused on was the select 4 teams that we probably see in the Super Bowl.
Win a championship.
Right, which I'm with you on. So this was the disconnect. You can either wage the house on trying to catch these 4, and if you get them, great. But if not, you ruin this floor that we have, or which was what I was on. We heavy on this floor here until it continues to jump to this, because the biggest difference to me has always been those elite teams have the quarterback. We literally have everything else. We're trying to see if Kenny can be a Mahomes, a Burrow, a Allen, a Hurts, right? And that is the biggest difference right now. But when we're talking about formulating a roster, patience, who bringing in, what type of moves, those are some of the things that I do feel like is the disconnect. Because, yes, we could be an aggressive front or an aggressive team and come out first 15. We're trying to air it out. And, yeah, you have a better chance of scoring 30 points. But on the flip side, you also have a better chance of putting yourself in a hole, right? Interception, forced fumbles, turnovers. As a whole, we would all agree our team isn't built to come from behind 2 scores. But we have shown that we can win in 1-score games. And we've shown that in gotta have it, we can either come back or hold a lead late in games. And that's been shown through this span. So that's the weird conundrum that we're kind of in right now. Well, we're going to keep winning games, bro. We're going to keep winning games. And it's going to keep being ugly. And it's going to keep being this non-30 version. But the big issue is still going to maintain when we're trying to win a Super Bowl. How do we get that? But we can't get there without the prerequisite of wins, playoffs, then we get in that convo.
So I could live with that if the offense looks like how it did end of last year, because we actually had a flow. We actually moved the ball. We actually kept the defense off the field.
Yeah.
Also this year, how we went up against the Raiders as an offense. I could live with that. Browns, Ravens.
Yeah.
That's like, dude, I mean, if you
want Ravens, early, right? The first half Ravens and probably to the middle point of third quarter, right?
The last 2 drives. And I mean, one of the reasons we got past the 50 was because of the special teams playing. Gunner returning it for like 20 yards.
Very true.
So like outside of, the last 3, 4, 5 minutes, our offense was looking bleak. It's just, we needed those crazy defensive plays and whatnot. TJ Watt and the pass rush going crazy, the Ravens drops.
Also,
to get those opportunities on offense.
Who had more turnovers also?
The Ravens did.
Think about all the games that we win. What is the common denominator with the turnovers? We typically win the turnover margin.
Again, hey.
So, like I said, it's not pretty,
the offense,
but that's what we say.
Better,
100%. But that's what we're saying in the sense of there is no magic, just change this one thing and now we have the answer. Whether it's coach, quarterback, scheme, we're still going to go through a natural progression of this. But what I'm saying is we just got to be careful that while we're chasing these top 4, that we don't lose sight of what we currently are
Simply
doing.
Winning games.
Right.
Correct.
Because
I'm with you
we
on that.
can't
100%.
get there without this. But a lot of teams blow this up chasing that.
Sure.
And they spend the next decade plus trying to even get back to where they were. And that's the one thing that we've been able to avoid. But at the same time, it doesn't need to be confused with complacency. And that's the difference, too, because, sure, people will say, no losing season. That's complacency. No, not no losing season. Every time it's the end of the season, going into the final game of the season, playoffs have always been on the line for us. That is a very different conversation than just no losing season. Those are the differences, right? Because you can never even get a chance to have a playoff victory if you're not even getting a chance to make it to the playoffs. And that's the one, like I said, not complacency, but at the same time, we acknowledge we still need growth. We still need to be better, but we got to be careful of how we go about it. And that's the part where we all trying to figure that thing out.
Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like with Tomlin, with the players that we got, that should be the case. And that's the question. With Canada as the OC, are we going to hit that next level? We'll see. I mean, it's the only thing we got right now.
Yeah.
We're not firing, obviously. So I hope and pray to God this next week, Rams, we get Deontay back, we get Muth back. Canada could be better. Kenny gets better. Everyone gets better, and the offense is better. And that could happen. Like I said on Monday with the Bears, too, we got to see it flip around there.
But think about the beautiful part is this, right? You named 3 legitimate reinforcements, two legitimate reinforcements on offense, right? In terms of Deontay Johnson, a Pro Bowl receiver, and Pat Freiermuth, who we think is at least a top 5, top 10 receiver, right? Or in that combo.
We need to feature more.
Fair enough, or he has the potential to be in that combo. We'll throw it like that.
He was going into the season. It's just we haven't gotten the ball at all.
Yeah. So when we talk about can the offense be improved, and we're asking ourselves what opportunities or what options do we have? Well, we know at least in the short term, we have 2 very legitimate options that should come in here and give us an immediate return on our investment. Better than a trade, because a trade, the guy got to learn the playbook, right? Deontay's already been in this offense. Moo's already been in this offense. They both already worked with Kenny and Canada. They already have familiarity. So that initially is help. We know as a team overall, we're going to get Cam Hayward back eventually, right? That's another added element to this thing where it's like, yo, not only are we getting help on offense, but even more help on defense. So it's like we got pieces, we got resources here. We just got to stay the course. And I think that's the part that is kind of challenging because, like we said, we'll win a ton of these ugly style games, but we're looking at what we need to get to, and we're like, how do we get there with this current situation right here?
Right, with the offense looking like this,
that's legitimate,
and the secondary looking like that. Now, secondary, I think, could be a quicker fix. You just play JPJ a little bit more.
And I would agree with you there. Broderick Jones also getting more opportunities. Yeah. I think that both of those guys.
I think he solidified himself.
Yeah, but think about it, right? Are those not 2 legitimate options in-house that can help this team be better?
Sure.
So that's the whole thing. It's
maybe
like
Canada can get the Elon Musk like super chip in his brain or something like that.
But once again, right? Less about outside, more about inside. We got answers right here. We just can't lose our mind on it. We gotta let it develop. We only 5 games in this thing, and we sitting at 3-2, number 1 in the North. While we're going through all of these moving pieces.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Right.
I mean, I am kind of like fed up with the offense.
Mm-hmm.
I am.
So if this is the worst offensive look all season, which I anticipate this
Let's
is.
hope so, because we just got 2 samples of the Texans game and then this one back to back after having a good one with the Raiders.
But you think of it in the small context. I think of it as a global context. First half of last season, second half versus last season. You compare second half of last season to first half of this season. That's not apples to apples. It's apples to oranges. Post by, now let's see where they're at. We've already said that they were better this year pre-bye than they were last year pre-bye. And that's what us saying, man, offense is all over the place. Statistically, we've already won more games. Statistically, we've already won more games.
We've got some better
breaks. We have already won more games.
Better breaks. I'll be honest.
But at the end of the day, are we going to go back and say take that one off the board?
Hell no. No,
so,
I am
so
happy
we're better this year than last year.
I understand how the NFL works. All these wins matter so much because, all of a sudden you can flip it on a dime. Because we did that last year.
And you think about you talked about the Bengals 2 years ago when they went to the Super Bowl, right? And they were 1 win ahead of us, right? And they just got hot at the right time, got a chance, and then from there they went on a run. We said even last year, man, if we just had 1 extra win, we had that opportunity to go on that run. Yeah. And now we're getting those extra wins right now. You don't think we're going to be better at the end of the season? You don't think? So. Think about when have we ever had a team here with Coach Tomlin that we've ended the season worse than we started the season?
I'm with you. The only question is the offense. That's my thing.
The offenses have been under him as well. When have we ever with Duck, Mason?
I'm just saying, again, goes back to the disconnect. I want championships, though. I want next level with this.
Like
offense.
we said, we can't get there without here first.
Fair.
That's all. But I feel like that's definitely what the disconnect is. I'm with you. We got to get there. That's the ultimate goal, but we got to just be real smart about how we go about doing that without ruining what we still love here, because that's a slippery slope, man. And you know that.
Yeah.
I like it though, baby. I like it.